just like mostly whispering today. I have a couple of life updates and like random things in life, and then I figured I could just ramble about whatever random stuff comes to mind. First of all, I'm sure you can hear that. Well, I know you can hear that, like in the background, that noise of water. It's so annoying because we share a house, like we rent a house where we have the main floor and then someone else lives in the basement, and the landlord like completely blocked it off, so it's not like we can access each other's units or anything like that. Like, it is separate, but essentially we share a single family home, like when you really think about it. So when I'm filming, like, it really stinks when they're doing stuff downstairs so that's loud, or if they're like doing dishes or running the shower, you get that noise where like you can hear water in the pipes. So there might be some of that kind of background noise for today's video, but oh well. I think it just adds to the ambiance of like white noise or background noise or whatever, so we'll make it work. But I will say, now that it is becoming summertime and it's heating up, we have window units for AC. We don't have central AC, so we have a window unit in the room right next to this room, and then we have one in the main room out there, and then normally we also have one in this room. We just haven't put that one in yet, but I was like, I'm so sorry, can I turn all of them off, to my fiance, because they're so loud. It might be fun, like, in the future to do a video that has them on, because I personally really like the sound of like an AC unit. Like when I'm in a hotel sleeping, I love putting the AC on because it's a really soothing like background noise for me, kind of like a noise machine. I love like, yeah, a fan or an AC unit. So maybe I'll do that in the future, where it can be like just background noise. But anyways, I turned them off for today's video. So yeah, the joys of shared space living. I did want to first light a candle. I have to say, I love the sound of these like wood candle tops. It's like really soothing and scratchy. Okay. Let's see. I got a lighter today instead of my normal matches. Okay, that's all set back there. So I guess I could also play with this for like some extra noise. We'll see. First and foremost, I got a haircut. So I feel like it looks really different, but maybe you didn't notice. I'm not sure. But basically, well, I'm also wearing it different than I normally wear it in my videos. So, okay, a couple things. This is the first topic that I was gonna ramble about. So, this was my first time ever going to someone and getting my hair done from someone who was not my mom, because my mom is a hairstylist. So of course, growing up, I got all free services from my mom, like, you know, whatever. So like, she would cut my hair, she'd color it, she'd highlight it, like whatever I wanted done on my hair, obviously my mom would just do for free in our basement. She had like a little setup in the basement for family and friends, like family and close friends, where she would do those at the house instead of the salon where she worked, which is like common with hairstylists. But and then like, of course, for dances she would do my hair and like do the little curls or the updos or whatever I wanted. So I've been very spoiled, because first of all, I've never paid for a hair service, and it's so expensive. But also just like the comfort and trust experience, and so she was really good at it. So I never had to worry that it wasn't gonna look good, but also if it didn't turn out how I wanted, I could just say that because she's my mom. So now though, she lives in Florida and I live in Colorado, so the distance is obviously too much for her haircut. When I go visit her in Florida, she'll cut my hair because she has all her like supplies and stuff there. But when we're like meeting in a neutral place, like for example, next month is my bridal shower, so we will both be meeting in Chicago because that's where we're doing the shower. But like she can't cut my hair there because she doesn't have her supplies, and if she brought her like cutting shears, she would have to check her bag, and she just has like a carry-on. So anyways, I had to make the sad decision to get a hairstylist, and my mom was low-key so sad about it. Obviously she understood and she wasn't like actually upset, but it did make her a little sad, I think, that I was like going to someone else. But I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. Like, it got to the point where I hadn't had a haircut in like a year because that was the last time that I was in Florida visiting her, because yeah, we just haven't been back in a while because we're saving money for our wedding, so like we're not traveling as much. So my hair was so long and drab and like stringy, and like I wear my hair up a lot, or I'll do like half back, and like I love having pieces out in the front. My hair was so long, I mean, you can see it in all my other videos, the pieces were literally like so stringy and long. It was like I had these two skinny strips in front, and I just was like, this has to go, this has to go. So yeah, I don't color my hair anymore. I don't get like highlights or anything. This is my natural hair color. I used to get like highlights and stuff, but now I've been really enjoying just like having it be natural. But I really needed a cut, so I got a recommendation from a friend who went to this salon and really liked it. So I went on the salon website and just like read all the bios of the different hairstylists, and then I found one who seemed like a good match for me, and then I went to their Instagram and like looked at their work, and I really liked their work too, like the pictures they posted of like colors and cuts that they've done. I thought they all looked good, so I was like, okay. And they're like younger, they're like, I think they're like my age, but I'm not really sure. But not that I needed someone younger. Like I actually at first was like looking for someone my mom's age, but then like the salon just, it was mostly younger people, so I was like, okay, whatever, like we'll be able to like relate to each other more and be more like friendly, like in that way. So I picked that person, and hold on, I'm so thirsty. I made soup for dinner, and it was really good, but it was like really salty, you know, because it's soup. And then also I put butter on the bread that I dipped in the soup, so I had a lot of salt, so I'm really thirsty. Anyways, so I picked the person, and then I made an appointment, and I went a couple days ago, and I basically just told them like, I want some more dimension, I want some layers, I want some pieces like in the front that are shorter, because when I wear my hair up, I want pieces that I can like leave out. And since I'm getting married in September, I was like, I feel like now would be a good time to experiment, because there's still time for it to grow. Like, so basically we decided to go like shorter right here with like, I almost have like bangs right now, which I never had before, but I was like, now would be the time, because these will grow before September, because it's May right now when I'm filming this. It's almost June. But like, that's like 3 full months. So anyways, I was like, yeah, let's do like shorter like curtain bangs in the front, and then she like layered it, as you like, I don't know if you can So she like tried to keep the length. But yeah, I don't know how well you can see. I'm like looking in the camera and it's hard to tell. But yeah, and I'm really digging it. I really like it. I think she did a really good job. So like I can still like tuck my hair behind my ears, but then I can also like have the little pieces out, and like if I put it up, I could like have this out, or like however much I wanted to have out. I could pull some back, whatever. So yeah, I got a haircut for the first time ever from not my mom, and I really liked the stylist too. What was I gonna say? Oh, and then today so I don't normally wear my hair like this when I film. I feel like most of the time I brush it out, or it's like more straight. But basically this is my hair if I don't brush it, like if I shower and then I don't brush it, and then I used a little mousse today and then I diffused it like with the diffuser attached to the blow dryer. So it's just like barely wavy. It's not like curly or anything, but there is a little bit of a wave. But I definitely have to manipulate it. Like, I guess I'm lucky in a way because my hair will do multiple things. I just have to like force it to do those things. I do wish that I had curly hair. I'm not gonna lie, I'm jealous of curls and of like the natural curl. But if I don't brush it and I use a product and I diffuse it, then it looks like this. But then if I brush it out right away and then let it air dry, then it's like more straight, and it'll have like a couple waves here and there, but it's like way more straight. So yeah, I guess it's like kind of a good thing, but also sometimes I literally wish that I could just shower, put a product in it really quick, and then let it air dry, and then it would be like wavy or curly. But it's not that easy to get my waves. I have to like try kind of hard, which I don't love. So I wish it was like more just natural and easy. I was also talking to my mom after my haircut because I really love it, but I'm not like the best at styling my hair, especially since I've been working from home the past 3 years. I like don't have a good style routine because I feel like pre-COVID I was still like straightening my hair a lot, which I do not do anymore. I'm not into that now. But like in college and stuff, I feel like everyone wore it straight, or I would like curl it with a wand curler. But I'm like, okay, I don't want to like straighten my hair, but I also don't want to curl it with a wand curler. I just basically wish that I knew how to do a blowout with like a round brush and a blow dryer, but I don't. That's like a really hard skill. So I even tried buying one of those Revlon like round brushes that also blow dry, so you just like do it all at once and it's like a blow dryer and a brush, but it doesn't really work that well on me, and it honestly just makes my hair really frizzy. So I feel like, and I've heard that that's like damaging for the hair, so I don't know. I need to figure out how I could like more easily style my hair. And my mom did suggest that I could get Velcro rollers. So she said I could put product in, blow dry it out, and then put it in some like Velcro rollers while I do my makeup and like eat breakfast and stuff, so then it has time to set. And then she said I think you spray it with hairspray and then you blow dry it or something, and then you just pull them out, and then it's more of like a wavy or like feathered blowout. So I feel like that could be the most realistic option, because yeah, I don't want to like have to curl my hair with a curling iron. The rollers seem more easy because I could just have them in while I'm multitasking. Because that leads me to my next topic, which is I got a new job. So that's why I was like, now with my new job I'm gonna be hybrid, so like going into the office office twice a week and then working from home the other 3 days. So I want to like look decent. Yeah, I just feel like it's been 3 years since I've gone into an office. I'm a lot different now. I'm more mature, I'm older, and I just want to like present myself more decently. Like I don't like before COVID, like I would roll into work hungover because I was like in my early 20s and living in the city, and we would go out all the time, and like it was just a lot different then. Now I'm like in my late 20s, and I'm like a little bit more senior like at my job versus being like fresh out of college. So I just feel like I want to look a little bit more presentable, but also I don't want to have to try too hard. Like I've said, I don't want to be like curling my hair every morning, but I would like some way. I mean, I do like this, like I'll definitely do this style, but I would love some way to achieve like a blowout type look without having to actually do a blowout. So that's the end of my hair ramble, which I guess brings us on to the job. So I work in marketing / advertising, and I got a new job. So basically, I'm trying to think of like what I should say about it, like what to ramble about. I guess I'll just ramble. So fresh out of college, I started at a company that again did like marketing and advertising, and I was there for like, I don't know, a couple years, 3 years maybe, and then after that we moved out to Colorado, so I switched jobs and did market research, which is still within like marketing and advertising kind of. It's like the same realm, but I was doing market research. But what ended up happening was the place that I was at ended up being like really toxic for me personally. I know some people who really love it there, but it just wasn't working for me. It was a toxic environment. The work-life balance was horrible. I felt really like judged and scrutinized instead of like supported. And like, I don't know, my style of working is just very like collaborative, and like we all help each other, and no question is dumb, and like I'm not afraid to be vulnerable and ask questions, and I felt like that was held against me at this place. Like my vulnerable self of like, I'm not sure what I'm doing, or like asking someone for help or asking someone their opinion, that's just how I like to work. It doesn't mean I'm incompetent. It just means that I value other people's thoughts, and I think that the work is stronger when more brains are able to like give meaningful feedback. But there, I was realizing over time that everyone else just pretended to know everything. Like everyone else was just trying to like be the best. So there was like a culture of kind of ego, in the way of like people would rather stay up all night and pull an all-nighter by themselves to figure something out and pretend like it was chill, rather than just like ask their team or ask someone else for help. I am the opposite. Why would I waste my time and spend an all-nighter to figure something out when I could just like ask my teammate or get someone's opinion, or ask if someone did something similar and I could see an example. So yeah, it was like too aggressive, and like it was too much of like a hustle culture for me, which like I was more into in my early 20s, I guess, when I was like living in the city, and it was kind of fun because everyone was doing it, and then you'd like go out and it would be fun. But I'm in such a different stage in my life now. Like I live in Colorado. We don't want work to be our whole lives. We really value time outside of work. We hike, we camp, we have a dog, like we travel, we see our families, like work. So it wasn't a good culture fit for me. It was too much. And managers. So it's this weird like panel discussion, but you're not in it and you can't know what they say and you get no feedback from it, but they talk about you and they talk about everyone else that has your same title, and they compare everyone, and then they rate you compared to other people. And I did not know that that was a thing before I joined, and then afterwards I was like really caught off guard by it, and it just was way too competitive for me, and it was like pitting people against each other. And mind you, I am not in sales, okay? Like, I get that type of thing for like sales or like a role that has commission. Like, of course you have to be compared because you're all trying to like make the most. That is not this role. Like, I work in an advertising marketing role where we're all just trying to do our best. We all have different clients, we all have different accounts. You doing better or worse does not impact someone else's business or account, if that makes sense. It's not like, yeah, I don't know. I have friends who are in sales and I'm like, that is not this. So it was really weird and it rubbed me the wrong way. And then you're not allowed to know what they talked about you, which is like fucking bizarre, because like you're talking about me and my performance and you're not going to tell me what you say. So, also last thing is that I felt like the amount of work that they took on was unethical because we couldn't get it all done. So people would like half-ass work, and we would even, like one time when I asked like a manager, like, this is so much, like, can you help me prioritize, or like, can you help me figure out how to get through all this? They literally told me, yeah, you basically like, you ignore half of it and you just focus on half of it. And I was like, what? Like, that just also really rubbed me the wrong way, because I felt like it was unethical. Like, we are getting a certain amount of work in and we're promising the client that we're going to do XYZ, and then you're telling me that secretly we only do half of it, but we play it off like we did it all. I don't know. Obviously, I'm trying not to give like too many details because I don't want to like talk about anything confidential, but I just felt like we were overworked and it was too toxic of a culture, and it was like really weird for me. I will also say that during that time I was struggling a lot with anxiety and mental health. I'm a lot better now, which is great. I've been like going to a new therapist for the past like year and a half maybe, but like the first 6 months to a year that we moved to Colorado, I was really struggling because it was just a big change, and I left all my friends and family, and I was kind of having like an identity crisis with like work and life, and like, who am I and what do I want? And I was just really struggling. It was also weird for me because I felt like COVID really like took away my mid-20s, like my early to mid-20s, and those years are supposed to be so fun, and like I was living in the city in Chicago, and like that all got stopped. Like, I couldn't go out with friends, I couldn't explore the city. Like, I was literally just stuck in my apartment until we moved to Colorado, and then we were just stuck here, but at least we could like do more outdoor stuff in the mountains. But it was just hard because it felt like I was like, if it was just really hard for my mind to comprehend time and how time had passed and how old I was and what the fuck was happening, because I felt like 1 minute I was like super young, living in the city, living my best life, like exploring myself and really like discovering myself, and then all of a sudden the next minute I was like living in Colorado with a person that I knew I was gonna like get engaged to. I was no longer in my early 20s. I didn't live in a city anymore. I wasn't surrounded by my best friends. And I was also at that job working really toxic hours and like feeling like I didn't have good work-life balance, and then also feeling like they didn't value me. Like, that's just, I am someone who in the workplace, I need positive feedback or constructive feedback. Like, I need to know how I'm doing. I need to, like, I'm just a more expressive, communicative person. So, like, the secrecy and, like, the competition and the weird toxic vibes at work were really, really affecting me a lot. So that combined with, like, the move and, like, the change, it was really, really hard for me. So it wasn't only the job that, like, impacted my mental health. It was definitely, like, everything. It was just everything. So yeah, like, it was hard for me to do the job and to keep up with that pace and to deal with that, like, tension and scrutiny, because I was, like, not in a great place mentally. So anyways, we are talking about jobs, and my point of saying all of that was that then I knew that I needed to leave. So, like, I stayed at that company for a year, and I was like, I need to go. I need to get a new job. This is so toxic for me. And my fiance was like, yeah, you need to get a new job, because, like, it was really negatively impacting my mental health. So essentially I went back to my first out of college job company as a fully remote employee, because, like, I left on really good terms with them, and, like, I did a really good job when I worked there and all of that. So, like, the door was still open, and so I basically, like, connected with someone who still worked there, and they were like, we would love to have you back, blah blah blah. And then that's what ended up happening. So I went back to that company that's based in Chicago, but I worked fully remote, and that's what I've been doing for the last, like, year, which was so amazing for me. Like, I really, really am proud of myself. I was telling my fiance this the other day, like, I feel like I've come so far with my mental health in the past year since leaving that job and going back to my old company. I've done therapy almost every single week. I've, like, missed some weeks, but I've done regular therapy. I have really worked hard on, like, getting more hobbies, doing more things. I started my ASMR channel, which has been, like, so amazing for me. I've taken up reading again. I've made more friends out here. I'm just now realizing that I started the dishwasher before I did this video, and it is so loud. Oh my god, whatever. Like I said, it's all just gonna be a part of the background noise. Sorry about that, if you can hear the dishwasher, but yeah, I'm just, like, so proud of myself. I've really come a long way. Like I said, I've done therapy. I've, like, really found other outlets for myself for creativity and fun, and I've made friends. That was a big thing. I was really struggling without friends out here, and now I finally have, like, made friends and made some really good friends that I really enjoy being around. I've been, like, working on my health, like, trying to exercise and move my body, and yeah, just, like, I'm in a much, much better and healthier mental health place. So I wasn't really looking for a new job, but I did kind of realize that, like, I do want to be a hybrid. So, like, it's been 3 years of me working fully remote from home. With my fiance, we both work fully remote from home. And I mean, obviously, like, we don't get any alone time or any time apart, which sometimes we love and sometimes is annoying. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. We are really close and we have, like, a really good, healthy relationship. That's, like, so weird of me to say, but it's true. And, like, we love being together. We are, like, best friends. However, sometimes you just want to be alone, or sometimes they're, like, they annoy you. Like, I annoy him, he annoys me, and when you're both home 24/7, you can never escape that. So, like, I think that it'll be really good because both of us now are gonna be where we can be a hybrid. just allow for that separation. And like, it's crazy when I'm like, literally the past 3 years, 24/7 nonstop, pretty much, we're together. And I know that that's like, a lot of people are like, holy shit, that's like a lot, and it is a lot. So, yeah, and we're both looking forward to it. Like, but what's funny is, even like, sometimes he does go into work, and then like, he'll literally be gone for 20 minutes, and he'll call me and be like, I miss you. And I'm like, we've been looking forward to this day all week. You're fine. But yeah, so like I said, I wasn't really like looking, but I basically, in my head, I was like, okay, after the wedding in September or October, I'm gonna look for a new job then. Like, that was my plan, was like, stay at this job until we get married, because there's a lot going on with like the wedding and the bridal shower, the bachelorette. Like, obviously it's a busy year for us, so I figured that it would be good to just like keep the job constant until after the wedding. But then I got recruited for this job, so like on LinkedIn I got reached out to, and I got like headhunted or whatever for this role. So I was like, oh, like, I've always gotten the advice from others that you should always accept every interview opportunity that you get, because you just never know. Like, you might think you don't want it, but you never actually know until you learn more about it and until you like talk to the team. So I was like, okay, I know I don't want to leave a job. We're about to get married in 4 months, but like, I'll just take the interview. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'll just take the interview. Also, what's funny is that me and my fiance met at work in Chicago. Like, we were co-workers, and now we haven't been, but now we are again, because the company is the company that he works for. But he did not put my name in. Like, it was not a referral. He had nothing to do with it. And then the first like 2 interviews, I mentioned to like 3 separate people, like, my fiance works here, haha, like, just so you all know. And they were like, oh, that's so funny. They don't care because it's marketing and advertising and no one cares. And we won't be like working together. We're on like different like businesses, but yeah, that's kind of funny. So anyways, I was like, okay, I'll take the interview. And my fiance loves working there. Like, he literally loves it. He loves the company. He's been really happy there. He's been there for like 1.5 years. So I was like, okay, what do I have to lose? And then like, the more that I interviewed, the more interested I was, the more I liked every single person I talked to. I liked like the different stuff that they said would be like in the job. I liked just like how people just talked about the company, and like having the first hand experience with my fiance of knowing that he loves it. And then I've also known other people who have worked there who have said really positive things about it. So I was like, okay, like, everyone loves working there. It seems like a good job. I'm getting a raise, I'm getting a promotion. Like, it was just all around a really good opportunity for me. And then also, I'll be hybrid, so I can go in like 2 days a week and then work from home the other days. So obviously we work at the same company now, but basically we decided we're probably gonna alternate the days. So like 2 days a week I'll go in and he'll stay home, and then the other 2 days or whatever, he'll go in and I'll stay home, and then the 3rd day we'll both be home. Obviously it's not gonna work out perfectly, but yeah, we just decided that sometimes maybe we'll go in together if it like makes sense, but that way we don't have to pay for dog daycare, because we have a dog, and if we both left all day, like, someone would need to come let him out, or he would need to go to daycare. promotion, so it's like a higher title than I had before, which is like nerve-wracking, obviously. And then starting in a new company and a new job is always a little nerve-wracking. And then also the timing with the wedding of like, we're getting married in like 4 months, and I have like a bridal shower, a bachelorette, like I have a lot of stuff coming up, so that's a little stressful because I'm gonna be new, starting a new job, and be like taking PTO and taking time off for different like things. But obviously they know all of that and they were okay with it, so like, you know, obviously that was a part of like the conversations. I wasn't gonna just like spring that on them after like getting hired. I had to make sure that they were okay with it, and they were. So yeah, that's like the biggest recent life update is the new job. So yeah, that and the haircut. Oh wait, there's one more thing. So speaking of going into the office, so the only bad thing about us alternating is that I just literally today sold my car. So now we're going down to one and we're sharing his truck. Because like we both work from home and we just didn't need to, and the market is really good right now for selling a used car. It's not great for buying, but we figured like we don't need to, so we might as well sell one and get some money for it, save the money, and then like share one, and then later down the line we could like get another one if we need it. So I literally today sold it. We sold it on Facebook Marketplace. The guy was super nice. It ended up working out really well for all of us because like he really needed a car and he really wanted my car and we wanted to get rid of it. We got like way more than what CarMax quoted us for because we brought it to CarMax and like they gave us their quote, and we got like almost double that from selling it privately. So it worked out for us because we got more money, but he got a good deal. And yeah, so that happened this morning. It was kind of sad though, because like I've had that car for, I don't know, like 6 years or so. I don't even know. And I loved that car. Like I truly cherished and loved that car. So it was a little bit sad to see it drive away, but it was nice knowing that it was going to a really good home. Because he was like such a nice guy, and he lives like in the mountains, and he just like needed a car, and we were saying like, he was like, if you're ever driving through, like let me know, we could like meet up like for a drink or whatever. So it was like it was a really good like non-sketchy private sale, because I was a little nervous about selling privately on Facebook Marketplace, but it like went really well. So yeah, that's the other big life change, is that now we only have one car, but it's a truck. So it's a Tacoma. So now we're sharing the Tacoma, which is obviously it's like a great truck and it's great for off-roading or like overlanding or whatever, and it's great for like camping and when we go to the mountains. But for like a daily driver, it's a little annoying because it's like kind of big. So like parallel parking or even just like parking in parking lots, it's just kind of like, it's not like the best for that. But like obviously I'm still like thrilled to have it. It's a really great truck. But yeah, it's gonna be an adjustment for sure, because needed, because like sometimes we'll go run errands at the same time to like tag team it. So like we each would take our car, but now we cannot do that. Like we have to go together, or one person goes and one person's home. And then like there have been times where I guess, I don't know, maybe that's really the only situation, but like I don't know, or if like one of us takes the car to go do something all day, then the other person's gonna be like stranded at home. So it's like you can't go do stuff at the same time. And I feel like that's gonna be a really difficult adjustment for us, because we're used to just being able to do whatever we want whenever. But I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I know that we can totally do it and it'll be fine. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. That's the other like big update. So kind of a lot happening for me with the haircut and the new job and selling my car. I will say that we've been like looking at like CarMax or I don't know, like online or whatever. We've been looking like on dealer websites too, just to get a feel for like, okay, when we are ready to buy another car, like we're just trying to look to get a feel for like what car we'd want and how much they cost. Let me tell you, there is a reason why it's a good selling market, because these cars are so expensive. We're like, oh my god, like I don't know, it's gonna be really expensive. So like I said before, we're saving this money from this car and we're just gonna like use that down the line for like a down payment on a different car. Also, our office is like in a metropolitan area, so driving the truck will suck to like drive that to work, because like if we have to street park or parallel park, or even if there is a garage, like I don't know, it's gonna just be a little not like the most ideal to have to drive a pickup truck to go to work in a metropolitan area. So we'll see how long we last with one. I'm hoping we can make it work and save money and be fine. But I guess we'll see. And yeah, I feel like that was pretty much everything. It's been like, I don't know, like 40 or 45 minutes. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up now. But thank you as always for watching. Sorry again if there was like a lot of background noise. I guess I'll see when I edit the video, but I really appreciate you hanging out with me, and as always, I love to see your comments, and I'm always open for taking like video suggestions or video ideas, so let me know if there's anything specific that you'd want to see. But otherwise, I will see you again next time. Bye.